You've been told fast hands are all about reaction time, but that's only about 20% of the equation. If you want to win more aggressive exchanges, become a more dangerous opponent, and play with confidence at the kitchen line, then you need to train all 4 pillars of having fast hands. In this video, I'm going to break down those 4 factors and show you how to actually build them so you can win more hands battles, stay in control, and become the kind of player that people don't want to speed up against. Let's get into it. Before your paddle even moves, your eyes and your brain are already doing the heavy lifting. The first pillar of fast hands is anticipation, and honestly, it's the most important. If you don't see the speed up coming, then your hand speed won't matter. This section is all about reading the play and understanding when your opponent is likely to attack and spotting the subtle cues that give it away. Let's break down how to anticipate an attack. It's very important when we're anticipating the attack that we have situational awareness. The first situation that I want us to anticipate that speed up is if we give our opponent a dead dink. A lot of times this comes when we're on defense and we just kind of place the ball in front of us and it sits up, or it doesn't have a lot of spin or pressure on it. So it's going to look like this. Boom, he speeds up at me. It's sitting up fairly high, it's at the net level there, it doesn't have a lot of pressure or spin, and it's a great ball for our opponents to attack us. So the second thing I want us to look for is our opponent's body position. If they're going to speed that ball up successfully, then a lot of the times they need to be behind that ball. It's going to be really hard for them to speed up if they're reaching for the ball or they're not lined up properly behind that ball. So even if they're not speeding it up and we see them line up behind the ball, we need to be prepared, because if that fire does come, it's very important that we anticipated it first. So if I give him a ball that's wide, I know he's probably not going to be able to successfully speed it up from that position, and therefore I can lean in or look to do more aggressive things, and I can anticipate that that attack is probably not going to come. However, if he's lined up behind the ball like this, then I know that he can actually hit a good speed up if necessary, and therefore I can be prepared. So watch for your opponent's body position and see if they're lined up well behind the ball. Another way to anticipate a speed up is to watch your opponent's paddle position. A lot of times at the lower level, when a speed up's coming, your opponent's going to take a bigger backswing, and this should immediately tell you that a speed up is coming and you need to be ready. This works especially at that lower level because people are worse at figuring out their tells, meaning those cues that their opponents give that shows an attack's coming. So if I feed him a ball right here and I see him take a little bit of a bigger swing, then I know I need to be ready to counter, or I can even shift to make sure I'm getting out of the way if he tends to miss a lot of speed ups here. So I feed him this ball, boom, he misses it long. I saw him take that extra backswing. This can be very, very important and can get you a lot of the head start needed to counter. Bonus tip, if you're someone who likes to lean in and take a lot of volleys out of the air and you're sitting on this line reaching forward like this, be ready for an attack, because this shows that we're not ready for the counter volley because we're looking to be aggressive ourselves, and a lot of times this can get you in trouble. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying that you can get attacked easily, so be ready and have it at the back of your mind. So if I'm dinking like this and I'm just taking balls out of the air and I'm not in a position to be ready for the counter, right? It's very hard to counter from that position. So be ready if you are reaching in and taking a lot of balls out of the air. Anticipating the attack is step 1, but if you're not set up to handle it, then recognition won't matter. The second pillar is all about preparation. This is your foundation, your paddle position, your stance, your posture, and even your mindset. With us only having little time to react, we need to make sure that we're prepared properly. This step is very simple, but 100% necessary. Let me show you how to prepare the right way for a speed up. The first thing I want you to focus on for preparation is going to be your paddle. Your paddle position is very, very important to how we're able to get ready for this attack. What I want you to use is the tracking technique. This is going to be taking the tip of your paddle and simply following the ball, literally tracking it, okay? So if I'm dinking here, I'm just taking the tip of my paddle after I hit a dink and I'm following the ball. And what this is gonna do is make sure I'm in the right position every single time. So if he attacks me, I know that I'm ready always. The second thing I want us to focus on for preparation is keeping our elbows slightly bent. The reason for this is we need room when they attack us to extend our arm for a little bit of power. If we're already all the way out here like I see people doing, well then we're gonna have no room to get that juice and we're gonna have to throw our body at that counter. So we wanna keep the paddle tip following the ball with our elbow slightly bent here. In order to have counter space, and that's our ability to extend through our counter, we need to make sure that we have a little bit of this elbow bend here, and it's gonna give us that pop necessary to really win this exchange. The third factor for preparation is going to be your stance. Your stance matters, and it's very important that we're in a strong, wide, athletic base here. So if I'm dinking, I wanna make sure that I have a nice wide base here. My knees are bent and I'm not bouncing up and down, okay? So I'm got my elbow bent, I got my paddle tracking the ball, and my legs are strong. So if he attacks me, I'm always in a good position to generate power from my legs, and it won't make me jump necessarily out of the way, but I can still use the ground to get a little force on that counter. The last factor to preparation is just gonna be having a light grip. It's very important that we're not squeezing the paddle for our counter, because what's gonna happen is when we're tracking this ball, if we have a light grip, when we make contact with that counter, we're naturally gonna tense up here for stability. So in order to stabilize our counter and the paddle, our grip is gonna generate a little extra squeeze here, and it's gonna give it that nice pop necessary. It's not something you're gonna think about, but if you're not relaxed beforehand, well then it's gonna mess all this up. So make sure that you're holding the grip nice and relaxed. You've anticipated the attack. You're in position. Now the ball's coming straight to you, and this is where most players make mistakes. The third pillar is reaction, and here's the truth. It's not about swinging harder or faster, it's about doing less. Our human nature when reacting to something coming at us fast is to jump, flinch, or overall do too much. However, we now have anticipated the attack and prepared correctly. It's time to dial in compact technique, calm posture, and zero panic. Let me show you how to react to a speed up by doing less. Okay, let's talk about common mistakes when reacting to the speed up. So tell me if this is familiar. We're jumping out of the way. All right, a lot of people jump when this speed up is coming to them, and that's for one, it's just a natural reaction to create more space in between you and the ball coming at you so that we can get more room here and try and counteract that ball. But also, what's happening here is we're losing our connection to the ground, and therefore we're not able to generate a lot of stability from that ground and having a strong base like this. So we're losing that balance there, and we're having to time this ball perfectly, because if we don't, we're not gonna hit a good counter. Instead, what you wanna do is lock your legs down, not jump. We can step out of the way, which is fine because we're still grounded here, but we do not wanna jump. That's gonna make timing really hard, and ultimately, it's just not gonna result consistently in a good counter. The second common mistake when reacting to a speed up is big backswings. I see so many people try and generate power by taking the paddle back here or back here, but this is counterproductive. What happens is it makes timing really hard when our paddle plane is shifting like this and we're not staying squared with the ball. Instead, what we want to do is imagine that there's a wall right here, and we don't want to take our paddle back there or lag our wrist too much. Instead, what we want to do is lock our legs down and make sure that when we take our paddle back, we're not crossing this arm right here, okay? It's going to stay in front of us, and we're going to block the ball like that. This is not going to give us that much extra power. A strong base here and making sure that we're keeping the ball in front of us is going to give us extra power. The last mistake I see is people turning their shoulders too much. It's okay if your chest is following the ball. If you get a wide speed up here and you're just kind of turning this way a little bit, slightly turned to meet that ball, but don't turn your shoulders for extra power. Again, we don't have time to do this. Instead, what we want to do is stay squared with our opponent and try to keep that ball in front of us. So meet your chest with that ball, get behind it, and just punch. Don't turn your shoulders, stay squared with your opponent. So what do we want to focus on? First thing is having a calm lower body and a fast upper body. We don't want to jump. If our lower body is calm, our upper body can really focus on being fast and getting to that ball. So if we're dinking here and he speeds up at me, my lower body is pretty calm there. I'm not doing a lot with it. It's my upper body and my arm that's really focused on doing the reaction, okay? Another focus I want you to think about is having a strong core. This is something that no one covers, but I think it's very, very important. When someone speeds up at you, our reaction is to jump. Instead, we want to flip that. We want our reaction to be to stabilize our core, okay? So that's going to come from not having a lot of lower body movement going on. We want to make sure that it's a strong, stabilized core and a fast upper body. So we're dinking here and he speeds up at me and I'm really focused on stabilizing that core right when he hits it at me. The last focus, very simple, but also very crucial. Make sure your swings are compact. I know you've probably heard this before, but just imagine there's a wall right here and you can't take the paddle behind that. It's gonna really help for efficiency on your counter. A little cheat you can do is just tuck your elbow in here and it's gonna make sure that paddle's in front of you and you're not taking it back, okay? So just make sure those swings are nice and compact for fast hands. You've seen the attack, you've reacted, but what's gonna separate you from everyone else is what happens next. Here's the secret. Speed doesn't win you hands battles, stability does. The last 20% is efficiency and stability, and this is what's gonna give you the edge in that hands battle. It's about staying solid throughout the exchange. Let me show you how to win these hands battles. When you're in that hands battle, a lot of people get tall. They might counter the first one with a nice low position, but then they're gonna get taller as this hands battle happens. It's very important that we stay balanced and leveled if we wanna win this exchange. So watch in this hands battle how I'm staying leveled and I'm not jumping or getting taller as it continues. I'm trying to find my chest behind that ball and I'm not really moving up, okay? It's very important we stay leveled for balance. Boom. I'm staying leveled. I'm making sure that I'm not jumping or doing anything crazy. I'm trying to be fast with my upper body and calm with my lower body. Okay, so a big part that goes into the efficiency of winning a hands battle is not over swinging. So when we hit this counter, make sure that we're not swinging because this is gonna put us in a bad position for the next shot. So if I hit a good counter like this and my paddle's over here, well then he can just counter right back at me and then I'm not ready for the next one. We wanna make sure that we hit our counter and we're still in front of us here for the next ball. And this is gonna keep us nice and engaged here, not over swinging for that shot. Lastly, for efficiency and stability, we wanna make sure that we're not just trying to hit a one-shot winner. And that goes into keeping a nice compact swing, making sure that we're not over swinging, but you have to expect that if you counter this ball, there's a chance they're gonna counter it back at you. So we have to be able to win this exchange. So when I hit a counter, I'm not focused on hitting a winner. I'm focused on getting that ball down and making clean contact. And then on the next few shots, that's where I'm focused on winning the point, okay? I'm not trying to hit that one-shot counter winner that looks and feels so good. I'm focused on winning the long-term exchanges. A bonus tip for efficiency and stability that I don't see a lot of people talk about is trying to meet the ball with your chest. So if I see that the ball is coming this way in that hands battle, I can take a little step here and just try and get behind the ball with my chest because it's gonna give me more stability and more power on that counter. I wanna make sure that if I am stepping to meet that ball, I'm not going up first with that step or moving my leveling here. I'm just staying leveled, I'm taking one step and I'm countering, okay? So we've gone over the 4 pillars, which are anticipation, preparation, reaction, and then finally, efficiency and stability. Those are gonna be the mechanics in order to hit these good counters and have fast hands. Now, how do we practice this? Let me show you 3 drills that will dramatically improve your hand speed and get you feeling comfortable in these situations. The first drill is going to be a wall drill. find yourself a wall like this one. This is at my court, so I'm able to do this a lot. We're gonna measure 7 feet from the wall, which is gonna be the distance between the kitchen line and the net. And there's so much we can do with the wall, but I want you to start out by just getting a nice athletic stance and focus on staying leveled, okay? So we're gonna focus on nice, short, compact swings here as well. And we're gonna start off slow. So we're just gonna start off slow like this and getting a nice rhythm. And as we get comfortable, pick it up and try and go faster, okay? So we're gonna go faster and faster, and we're just gonna test our reaction time, keeping a nice compact swing, staying leveled with our head. And there's a lot we can do. Obviously, the wall is always gonna beat you, which is one of the difficult things about it, but find yourself a wall and practice wall drills and focus on the technical side of things. So that's gonna be making sure that our lower body's calm, our upper body's fast, we have compact swings, and understanding that we're gonna develop faster hands from this situation, okay? The second drill we can do is the dead dink speed up drill. I do this one a lot in my own practices because I like to work on counters and make sure my hand speed is sharp. I'm gonna feed him a dead dink, something that he would generally speed up. He's gonna speed up and then we're gonna play out the rally. I'm gonna focus on all the traits that make a good counter and give me quick hand speed reaction time. I'm also gonna look for the tells that he's gonna speed up. So if you wanna adjust this, you can make sure that you're not just feeding a dead dink, but you're also playing out the rally. But for this situation, I'm gonna feed him a dead dink, he's gonna speed up at me, and then I'm gonna look to counter and win this hand exchange. Boom, got him. The last drill is gonna be the heels on the line drill. Right now we're 14 feet apart. That's the distance between both kitchen lines. Once we take a step in here and put our heels on the line, we're now closer and this is gonna feel a lot faster. We're gonna do this for a few minutes and then we're gonna take another step back to where we were before and it's gonna feel super easy, okay? So we're gonna be here and we're just gonna start slow and we're gonna volley back and forth here and go for consistency. And then when we take a step back, it's gonna feel very, very easy. If you made it this far in the video, then I have a very special gift for you. I made a video explaining the key technique secrets that I discovered to hitting the perfect backhand roll. It's been a pretty pivotal discovery for me and I'm not gonna post it on YouTube, but if you do want it, just click the link in the top comment and I'll send it to you as a thank you for your support. So that's my breakdown of how to get faster hands and hit a very effective counter volley. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe as it motivates me to make more videos like this so I can keep putting them out for you guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next